Incoming transmission.
Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion, and welcome back to Monkey Island 2. This is the second part of the 4 map pieces, so here we go. Let's get on with the little cutscene here. Yes, Largo. Oops. So let this cutscene play, or you can skip it, by the way, by pressing both mouse buttons together. Right, so first of all, you need to pick up the parrot chow that's on the side of the boat there, and then you need to go and talk to Mr. Dread, and he'll give you some choices of where to go and a map screen of where to go. Now you're going to want to have to go to Fat Island first. P-H-A-T-T, by the way. So you'll get to see the screen in a sec, and then it'll give you an idea of where we can go, what we can do. Once we get there, well, this is what the guide's for. So yes, you'll have to bear with, because a lot of this is coming from memory, and this is if I remember rightly, this is quite a long part as well. So I hope you've got some caffeine in check, because this is going to be a long ride. I've got I've got a chai latte right next to me. I'm going to hope that's going to carry me through. But here we go. Once you've talked to Captain Dread, then he'll obviously show you what to do. And now you can go to all the different islands that you can see there. Now we want to go to Fat Island to begin with. See the little trail mark there. Off we go. I only see this once, by the way. It does it once per island, but then it kind of cuts off. If I remember rightly, you don't have to watch this anymore. I think it automatically loads it after that, so no problem. Right, so here we go. We're approaching Fat Island now. Alright, so here we are. So first of all, you need to be talking to this fella here. And it doesn't really matter what you say to him, by the way, here. The result will be the same. So just pick whatever you want. That really doesn't matter at that point. So be amusing if you want. So he will now take us to the Governor's Mansion. I always find that amusing, that bit there. Good fun. So here we go. This is all going to be fairly cutscene-y now, so I will just let this play out. And I shall be back with you once this is finished. Love the animation on this, by the way. It's really quite good. It's amazing to think really how the Amiga managed to squeeze this out, and I do believe that you could play this on Amiga 500 as well. So no AJA enhancements here, only hard drive speed. 12 discs, big game. So once this all plays out, basically you're going to be thrown in the slammer, and we'll go from there. But you do need to listen to him waffle on for a bit. Again, you can see the options there that you can use. Some of them are quite amusing, so feel free to use any of these, it doesn't really matter. Again, same with the guard, well, no matter what you say, the result will be the same. I mean, you can see why this game realistically needed a hard drive, not just for the 12 discs that it came on, but it's just such a huge game, and these cutscenes here are so sort of detailed. You can see why it would have had to have a hard drive would have been optimal to play the game. Yeah, but penny has just dropped with Guybrush that LeChuck is still alive. Basically, the governor wants to sell you to LeChuck. That's pretty much what's going on here. You can even offer to double his bounty, but it's to no avail, I'm afraid, my friends. To no avail. Governor wants his booty. Don't we all? Anyway, so yes, once you've got through this immensely long conversation with Governor Fat, he will get you thrown in jail, and that's where we're about to end up now. Just to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger there. Let's go. Right, so the adventure now continues. So what you want to do first of all, once you get your interface back up again, is to pull the mattress. As you'll see in just a moment when I get my interface back in, and here we go. Right, so I'm going to pull the rock hard mattress. That's the first thing we need to do, and then we pick up the stick, and the next thing we're going to use the stick on the skeleton in the next cell. Now you want to pick up the bone, and now you want to use the bone with Walt, or the dog, if you like. You give the bone to Walt. So here we go. And he drops the key and slavers away, and off he goes. So now we need to pick the key up off the floor and use the key on the lock. There we go, and now we can go out. Now you want to pick up the two envelopes that you can see there. There's a Gorilla envelope and a Manila envelope. Pick both of those up and open both of them as well. Then once you've done that, exit the cell, or exit the jail. So you'll find a few things in your Manila envelope, and which is basically all of your belongings and all the stuff that you've got in the previous chapter. And then you want to be opening the Gorilla envelope as well. which will contain a banana and a music box. Right, so now we can exit this place, and you want to be going out of here now. Now, we need to, oh god, is it left or right? I can't go there. Right, okay. So over the bridge will take us to path, I believe. There's nothing over here. So let's wander over this way, and you want to be going down one of the alleyways. I think it's this one, next to the library. Okay, and then sort of a cutscene, not cutscene, but a little thing will play out. Just watch this going on here. This wheel takes forever, by the way. But you want to watch what this guy does, and then once he's got his prize, you'll want to follow him out of the alley. There you go, so he's now won, and then he's going to ask what prize he wants. And he'll take the money. Not that that's any beneficial to the storyline whatsoever. And there we go. So once you've got control of Guybrush again, you get your cursor back, follow him out of the alley and see where he goes. So he's going into that next alley along, so you want to follow him down there. And you'll find out what kind of shenanigans he's been up to. Right, so once he's left, you need to go and knock on the door. Now the trick behind this is basically whatever the amount of fingers he's holding up in the first time is the answer to the riddle. So basically if he holds up one finger and the next one is 3, then the answer is 1. You'll see what I mean. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve for us. So you ask what the winning number is going to be, and he will ask you for the password, same as he just did with the other guy. But you've got to get it right 3 times, not 1. Right, so he's got 3 fingers up, and he's asking what that is. So the answer's 3, because he had 3 fingers up in the first time. So you just copy that onto the next 2 that he's going to do. So there's 2 fingers up there, so the answer's going to be 2. It doesn't matter if you get them wrong, by the way, you get to do it again anyway. So this is 2, what's that? So as there is no 0 option, that is actually 1. But this will change, and it's never the same time. It's never the same, but it's different every time you play the game. Right, so he's going to give you the winning number now. You can ask him either of those. It doesn't matter which one of those you pick, by the way. Right, so now we're going to go and play the number, which will be 19 black for us. All right. So you need to remember 19 black, and then head back to the alleyway you were in before. There you go, back to the alleyway. You'll see the little guy again playing his game because he got the winning numbers beforehand, and you'll see that play out again. And here we go. So he's going to spin the wheel again. So again, you need to just wait until this finishes and plays out, and then you'll be able to cast your bets. I told you that wheel took forever. Right, so he's going to probably ask for money again, I'm guessing. Now you don't want to ask for money when you win this, by the way. You want to be asking for the invitation, which he has. Alright. So, talk to the guy, and he will ask you how you're doing. So, place a bet, and then you want to be using the number that we were given before, which was 19 black. That will be in the list of options, by the way, so don't worry too much. Alright, so he's going to ask you what number you want. So you want 19 black. So, and now we're going to wait for the wheel to stop spinning again. Alright. I love the presentation of this game. It's absolutely gorgeous. So here we go. When the wheel stops spinning, eventually, it does go on for a while. I don't know why. Mouse clicking does nothing, by the way. You can't speed it up in any sense. So we've won. Okay, so he's going to ask us what we want. Don't worry about cash, because I do believe that if you ask for cash, he'll tell you he hasn't got any left anyway. So you want to take the invitation. Once you've taken the invitation, then you want to go back to Dred's ship again and set sail to Booty Island. So now we've got the invitation, we need that. Now we're going to go and get ourselves over to a different island. So walk to the wharf and away we go. Which pier is he on? He's on one of these. Oh, no, wrong pier. You'll be going down that one later on, I do believe. God, it's all coming back to me now. I love this game. How many of you out there completed it, by the way? Anybody complete Monkey Island 2? Because back in the day, walkthroughs didn't exist. So it was a chance if the magazine had actually published a walkthrough or not. Or it was just pure luck that you got the riddles right. So yes, set sail for Booty Island. And we will continue our adventure there. He does take a bit of a detour around to these islands, doesn't he? Never mind. Right, so we're on Booty Island. Coming into dock right now. Right, okay, so what you want to do now is you want to go over to the store on the left hand side, which is the antique store. Make sure you open the door and then you can go inside. Now when you're inside, you want to buy a few items. You do that by picking them up. So first of all, pick up the ship's horn. He'll do this on every item that you want, by the way, so don't worry about that. And the next thing you'll want to pick up is a saw, which you can see by the door, by the way. So that's the next object I think we're going to get now. Go and grab that, and again you'll have to pay as you pick them up, which is all right. And you can agree to every single one of these. You'll automatically, there you go. Don't worry about your money because you've got plenty. You've got enough to do all this, so don't worry about money. And then you'll be wanting to pick up the sign as well. Now he'll be reluctant to sell you that at first, but then, as you'll see, he says it's not for sale. But in the market for a bit of cash, I think he'll sell it to us. There you go, for 5 pieces of 8. Alright, so that's it. You can take that. And you can, I think you'll remove the sign yourself. There we go. Good old Guybrush. Now what you want to do is you want to use the parrot chow that we got from the boat on the hook that the sign was just sitting on. So scroll back through your inventory, find the parrot chow, then hang it on the nail there. Now you'll notice that the parrot will now shufty along there. Now you can purchase the mirror. That's what we want. So we want to buy the mirror. And there's also, if you look by the guy, there is a map piece sitting on the counter. Now I want you to try and pick that up as well, because he will tell you exactly what he wants for it, and that will set us up for the next part of the adventure as well. So pick up the map piece and he'll go, no, it's not for sale. Or at least he'll want something. Oh, there you go, 6 million pieces of 8. Yeah, well, that's realistic, isn't it? So obviously we can't afford that because we haven't got that much. So what does he want for it instead? So talk to him again, and then ask him if he takes Visa. Humour level. Right. So you need to get him to talk about the map piece, really. So what kind of trade-ins do you accept? Is the one you want to go for here, because then he will, there you go, he'll take most stuff. Used parrots. That's always a good thing to be carrying around with you. So there is something he wants in return. So there we go. He wants the figurehead of a sunken ship. That's not a problem. You can ask him about the figurehead. It's not massively important that you do this, but I'm just doing this for walkthrough purposes. So the Mad Monkey is the ship that we need. Okay. Once he's stopped talking, we can stop the conversation with him and you can leave the store. And off we go. Right. So once you've got control of Guybrush again, you can now leave. We've got all the items we need from this store. So what I want you to do now is to go over to the other store, the costume shop. We're going into there. And what you want to do is, once you're inside, when talk to the guy that's in here, you can give the invitation to him straight away. You don't need to strike up a conversation with him. Just give him that, and then the next bit, there you go. We have a costume on reserve. Again, the presentation of this is just awesome. So they could have gone with the walk this way gag, couldn't they? So there we are. That's our costume. A lovely dress. So you can pick that up when you're ready, and then you can leave the store once you've picked up your dress. Okay. And once we've done that, now we can exit the store, and then you want to go and talk to the woman who we saw outside. Go and talk to her. And you want to be asking her for one of her leaflets. Right then. So once you've finished talking to her, we need to head to the map screen. You can talk to her about whatever, but you've now got her name. You can ask about chartering a ship as well. I think she'll tell you how much that is. We don't have enough money for that. There we go. 6,000 pieces of 8, which we don't have right now. So we'll exit this conversation. Now we want to be walking all the way to the left and find the path screen. You know, the map screen that we had in the first episode. Head over to the mansion. That's exactly where we want to be going next. And once we're there, and I shall tell you what to do next. Right, so amusingly, we talk to this guy. There you go. Guy in a costume, no problem. So you want to talk to him, and eventually just tell him you're here for the governor's party. Now he will ask for the invitation, and possibly changing into your ever so delightful costume. So give him your invitation and he will have a look at that. That's all automatic, by the way. You don't really need to be giving him anything. So now he's going to ask, I think, if you've got a costume. There we go. And now you'll be, tell him you've got one. Which, yeah, you'll be wearing for a little while. Oh, the humour in this game, I love it. So there we are. Guybrush in a dress. Great, isn't it? So yes, he's going to let us pass now because we have the invitation and we have a costume, so away we go. And the next location is going to be the mansion. And what I want you to do when you get here is follow the path round. You'll find Guybrush will be most cooperative. It's not very obvious where you've got to go, really, is it? So it's a good thing these walk through things. So just keep coming over to the right hand side and eventually you'll come up to the mansion. So there we are. Once you get close to it, it should load up a closer view of it. There we go. Now you want to go to the side of the house. When you do go to the side of the house, you'll notice that there is a trash can round here, or garbage, or bin as we would call it. You want to push the bin and then get ready to run round to the side of the house again, round the front of the house. So the bins crash and out comes Mr. Annoyed Chef. So walk round to the front again and he will chase you. Okay, don't worry too much about this guy, but once we're round the front, you want to keep basically getting him to chase you round the building. Okay, so we'll come round to the front of the house and keep coming round. Get your mouse cursor over to the right hand side just so you're ready. He doesn't catch you, by the way, unless you stand still. So you want to walk to the side of the house again. Now this time when you go round to the back of the house, you need to be going inside and to the kitchen. So you can walk through that door there. And you want to, once you're inside, you want to go and pick up a fish out of the barrel. That's all we need in here, so you can walk back out. You will encounter the chef again. Do not worry about that. Nothing's going to happen to you. He's just going to tell you off a little bit. There you are. So when you go back round the front of the house yet again, and now you want to be going inside the mansion. Okay, so they're going to go inside, open the door, and in we go. Now, you'll notice once we're inside, the party's in full swing. There we go, there's a map piece on the left-hand side. Go and try and pick that up, which you will do. You'll notice the stairs are blocked right now, so there's nothing else we can do. I want you to go back outside now. Now when you try and leave, the dog will tell on you. So we can try and walk away. And then the dog sniffs you. There we go. Any of those conversation pieces will work. So we're looking to get inside, and the gardener will take you to see Governor Marley. Well, I told you this was going to be a long piece. We're coming up to the half-an-hour mark now. Yes, some humour there. Right, so the next piece is going to be upstairs, and you're going to be talking to Elaine. Here we are. and now a reunion of sorts. Gardener's now going to disappear because he feels most uncomfortable. Now again with this, it doesn't really matter what conversation pieces you get, but you want to get to the point where Elaine will get so fed up with you that she will do something a little annoying. So I beat around the bush with him, she's quite harsh. I just keep talking to her and eventually she'll just get annoyed. Comes across quite creepy actually, Guybrush in this scene. To be fair, it's probably the conversation pieces that make these sections quite long. The reason part 2's taken me a little while, by the way, is because my save game decided it was going to corrupt and I had to play from part 1 all over again. Once I skipped all the conversation pieces, I narrowed it down from 45 minutes down to 20. So I suppose if you didn't want to see the cutscenes and stuff here, you could click both mouse buttons and just skip it. So that's always an option if you wanted to do the quicker way. But if you're only playing through for the first time, then this is a good idea. If you're quite happy seeing the fact that I've done all this for you, you can actually skip the conversation pieces if you wanted to and speedrun it. But for those of you doing it for the first time, please give it a proper go, because it's the only way to play this game is to actually play it properly with all the conversation bits intact. So here we go, she's going to chuck the map out of the window. Now, what you want to do next is that Guybrush is automatically going to be coming downstairs. You need to go straight back upstairs again. You can see now the kissing couple has now moved, so you can actually leave the building. But I need you guys to go upstairs, because we need to go back up there. Okay? Now you'll notice once we get back into the room that she has now disappeared. God knows where she's gone. She certainly didn't pass by us, did she? Okay? Now you want to pick up the ore that's on the back wall there. It's the only thing we need from this. Now you can exit and leave the house. Once you leave the house, you'll see the map piece on the floor. You'll be wanting to try and pick that up. Exit through the door, and now you should see on the floor, get ready to start picking up the map piece on the floor there. So off you go. Gold goes back to sleep. So yeah, pick up the map piece and you'll notice that it moves, and just keep going. The map piece will eventually just fly away, so you don't worry about that. We will be getting it, but not until a little bit later on. And off it goes. And off it floats. I quite like this as well because it shows the map piece in one of those sort of cartoony ways. flying straight towards the camera. And where's it going? The thought that went into this game is absolutely phenomenal. This is a game that really has stood the tests of time. So when we get back to where we are, you want to go and try and, this might sound strange, but go and pick up the dog. And I don't mean for a dinner and dance. So, you want to pick up the dog, but unfortunately you can't in a dress, so we're going to have to change back into our clothes. This bit's automated as well, don't worry about that. And he's back now. The age-old conundrum of where does Guybrush keep all his stuff? Yeah, he jammed him in his jacket. There you go. So, now we want to be heading out of here, and you want to go all the way back to the map screen and back to Dread's ship, because we're going back to Fat Island yet again. So make sure you walk all the way to the path. Once you get to the map screen, select Dread's ship. It should be on the map automatically, and you can just go straight there now. And there it is, Dread's ship. So we want to head over there. See little Guybrush running around on the map there. I love these little touches, it's just really, really good. It adds a bit of immersion to the game, I think. So, yes, head to Dread's ship and ask him to go to Fat Island. That's where we are going for our next part of the adventure. So you'll get the map again. And off to Fat Island. Now you'll notice this time we just go straight there. There's no animation on the map. This time we didn't need it. Head to the library this time, folks. And once you're inside, we are going to be opening the model lighthouse, which is next to the door. And then you want to pick up the lens that's on the top. Right. Now, go and look at the card catalogue. Now you'll want the drawer named CD. Or you can just copy what I'm doing here. You can try different drawers just by clicking that. The thing I need to remember how to do this now. So if I go up to the drawer with CD on, just bear with me a sec. Yeah. So we go there. Right. So you need to find the card in the index that says Great Shipwrecks of Our Century. Now it does take a few of these. Now you should find that these should be in the same location. So once I found it, you should be able to just copy my location and where the actual index file is. Once you've found Great Shipwrecks of Our Century, then you want to memorize it, because you'll see once you pull up something there, it'll actually say, oh, I can remember that. Oops, just clicked off that. If that does happen, just reopen the file again. Don't worry too much. But go through all the cards until you find Great Shipwrecks of Our Time. Great Explorations there by Captain Loogie. We don't need that. Nope. Crotchet eye patches for fun and profit. Not what we need. Great Shipwrecks of Our... That's the one. So, you'll have to remember that one. Okay, and now you want to go to the PQR section. So we want to try a different drawer, or you can just close the drawer by clicking on it again. Then you want to go to PQ and R at the bottom, and you want to be finding a book called The Joy of Hex, and remember that one as well. Takes a bit of time to get through these little index cards, but they're worth reading. Some of them are actually quite funny. Alright, so we need... Nope, that's not it. No, not that one. There we go. The Joy of Hex, so remember that one. And now you want to have a completely random one as well. So it doesn't really matter what you choose. You can choose another random one from this box, which I think we'll do. It doesn't really matter which one. So just remember that one. Once you've remembered those, we need to go and talk to the librarian. And she will go and get us the books from the collection. But not before she's going to have to give us a library card. So we talk to her. And tell her that you're looking for a book. But obviously you can't take a book out without a library card. There you go, looking for a book. Now she'll get you to fill out a temporary library card. So now's your chance to put some witty stuff in, because she'll ask you your name. So you can be honest, or you can go from some of the other silly options. So we're going to be from 221B Baker Street, just because we can. And all of these are option 21. You've got to be 21. That's not a problem. And then occupation, we're freelance. You can put any of these, by the way, it doesn't matter. The story still goes on regardless. And I'm going to be a nose picker, so there we go. Because I can. But you can pick any of those, it doesn't matter which one you choose. They'll all be relevant. So now we're going to get a temporary library card. And then you want to ask her about all the books that we've just memorised. Right, so first of all, let's tell her that we want the Joy of Hex. And she'll run off and get that for us. Nice and easy. That's one. Now you do want to get all three that you've just memorised. So you want the Great Shipwrecks of Our Century as well. And she'll go and grab that for you. And then you also need the other book that you've memorised. And she'll go off and get that one as well. Now we do need that one. Once you've got this book, by the way, you can leave the library, because we don't need anything further here. So we can leave. Once she stopped talking to us. Alright, so exit the library, and we want to be going down the little pier where the little fisherman guy was earlier. The pier that I went down that I shouldn't have gone down. So walk down there, and then we'll engage in conversation with the guy fishing on the end of the pier. It's a nice big close-up of Guybrush as well. It's probably the first time I actually see him properly, which is nice. So what you want to be doing here is you want to be accepting a bet from this guy. So tell him you're a mighty fisherman. So brag that you're the best fisherman in the Isles. And he will obviously differ. He'll beg to differ with you. Man, not a problem. Now insult him, which is funny. Now once you get control back of Guybrush, you want to scroll through your inventory and find the fish that we stole from the kitchen a few minutes ago. And you want to give that to him. And he will give you his fishing rod in return. So here we go, here's the wager. So he will challenge you and just take his bet, and then he'll tell you what the odds are and what the stakes are and what you get if you win and what he gets if he wins. Ah, what the hell, we'll just insult him further. There we go. So, what you want to do is once you regain control, is to give him the fish from your inventory. Yes, we're cheating. Right, so there's the fish. So we want to give that to the fisherman. Blunk. Brilliantly written. I love the comedy aspect of this game is fantastic. Very entertaining game through and through. So now we're going to get hold of his pole. Excuse the expression. But now his fishing rod belongs to us. Now we want to head over to... Now he'll bugger off, by the way. Doesn't matter, we won't be seeing him again. What you want to do now is use the flyer that Captain Kate Capsize gave us on the poster of you. So put that on there. And now you can exit stage left. Just try and walk to the path, and you'll see. Well, you'll see what happens next, because it's amusing, isn't it? Here we go. So we're going to try and get out of here, and a familiar face turns up. Oh, Kate. Kate Capsize has arrived. You can't tell the difference between Guybrush and this girl. It's weird. He's already arrested him once. You'd think he'd know who he was, but there we go. Never mind. And we all know that he doesn't take any excuses. So once this has played out, you want to return back to the wharf and head into the jail. That's weird, you come in from a completely different place to where you left. Bit strange that, but never mind. Alright, so head back over to the jail, and you want to be getting ready to use the key on the jail door that we had earlier on. We got out of jail with, still in our inventory. There we are, there she is. So we want to find the key, and we want to use the key on the door, and that will open the door automatically, and Kate will come out. There is another envelope on the shelves there. You want to be picking that up and opening that once you get control, and off she goes. So now we can pick up the vanilla envelope, and then you want to open that, and there'll be some Neogrog in there, which you now got in inventory. Now you want to leave the wharf, and we're going over to the mansion again. So again, exit stage left, and straight to the path, and away we go on our adventures on Fat Island. Right, so once here, then you want to find the mansion on the map. There we are. Head over there. Now, once you get to the mansion, you will need to open the gate. and once you've done that, you can head through and down to the mansion itself, and you can just go straight in. I think just open the door and go in. Alright, in we go. Now you talk to the guy inside who's blocking the stairs right now. So talk to him and tell him there's a fire in the kitchen. And that should get rid of him. Don't think it matters what options you use there, by the way. I'm just playing it safe. So there you go. I think there's a fire in the kitchen. That's what you want. And Captain Gullible will go off and check it out, leaving the stairs unattended. Now, once that's great, because we need to be going up there anyway. As soon as we get control, up we go. Now, what you need to do here is that you can see there that he's sleeping. You need to find the book that is irrelevant. So don't use your shipwrecks or anything like, or Joy of Hex. Use your other book with the book that's lying on his stomach. There you go. We've switched the books. Now we can leave. That's all we needed to do here. But just remember not to use your shipwrecks book or your Joy of Hex book. Do not do that. Do not. So anyway. Right, so now we're going to Dread's ship once more, and we need to be setting sail to Booty Island. I love the little musical cues in this. There's more music in Chapter 2 than there was in Chapter 1, I'm sure. It's all very good. So, straight to Dread's ship. And then we need to set sail for Booty Island. And again, there won't be a cutscene this time. It'll just auto-load in. Now what you want to be doing here is you want to go to the path. And you'll be needing to find a location on the map called Big Tree, which is up in the top of the map. Actually, we'll find it in a minute. Nope, 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 nope. Further up, there we go. Right. Now what you want to do is use... get loaded in. Right, there's a plank in the wood there, you can see. Now you want to use the oar in the hole. Right there, and then you want to use the plank which is next to it. Right, and now try and walk onto the oar and pick up the oar, and that happens. It's meant to happen, don't worry about it. Now a cutscene will ensue. So I'm just going to be quiet during this because this was one of my favourite bits of Monkey Island 2, strangely enough. So enjoy! You ready for this? thought LeChuck was really well drawn in this game. I think he's really quite cool. That's quite a nice touch as well. Anyway, right. So once you've done that, you want to be picking up the broken ore that is right behind you. And then we're going to head back to Captain Dread. And we're going back to Scab Island, where this entire adventure started in the first place. So off we go. You still get used to being able to just target Dread's ship after a while, and the whole thing just becomes a joy to play. I mean, the game is a joy to play in the first place, but some of these puzzles are ridiculous. Right. How many of you actually did this game without a walkthrough, by the way? I'm very interested to know. And for those of you who are still with me, I mean, we're almost on the hour mark here, so well done for staying with me this long. Probably best to add this to your favourites as well, because we're going for the long haul here. I'm not breaking this one down. Part 3 and Part 4 will be 2 separate videos, but this one is just going to be one long-ass video. Probably should have mentioned that at the start, really, not halfway through, but that's beside the point. Never mind. So yes, we're heading back to Scab Island here. And we are home, so to speak. So. It's weird coming back to Part 1 territory again. Alright. So first of all, we're going to walk to the hatch. And we're going to go and see our barkeeper friend from Episode 1. Now there's a monkey playing a piano, and I'm not sure where that came from. So now basically we're fired. Like that. Okay. Now what we want to do here is we're going to use the banana that we picked up earlier on with the metronome that's on top of the piano. Or organ, I should say. Now we can... he's going to give us a bit of a telling off for knackering up the piano player. But now we can pick up Jojo. Right, now we want to try and buy some grog. So talk to him again and ask him to buy some grog. Then he'll challenge you on your age. Right, so grog please. And then he'll say... There we go. I think that gag was used in Chapter 1 as well. If you use some of the options in Chapter 1, he'll want to give you near grog, but I don't think he's actually got any. So there we go. Right, so here's where we're going to use the library card. And he'll sell you some grog. Right, okay. So, you want to buy Yellowbeard's Baby, I think, is one of the options. There we go, first one in the list. Now, oh god, which two is it? Now, you need to buy 2 because you need to mix them together. I think it's Yellowbeard's Baby. And I think it's the Blue Whale. So you can buy another drink from him. Make sure you get the 2. So, Yellowbeard's baby and a blue whale. Once you've got the two of them, oh yes, you get a crazy straw as well, which is random. Right, so ask again for another drink. This time ask for a blue whale. Give me a bloody stump. It just sounds wrong. And once you've got these, you need to mix the two together, and I think it should turn it green. If it turns any other colour, I've got this wrong. But I think we can mix the two together. It should be green. Yeah, there we go. Right, so now we can leave. We don't need anything else here. Now we're going to go back up and see the men of low moral fibre, up where Mad Marty was with the pearly white bra. So yeah, walk up to the ship there, and we're going to remove a leg. Not literally a leg, you understand? A peg leg. So we're going to use the saw. Use the saw on the peg leg. Now we don't need anything else here, by the way, because that will just fall off. Now we can walk back to the street. Don't worry about that. There's nothing we need here. We needed just to get the wood, the carpenter out of the way. Sorry, mental block. Completely forgot what he was. Nice little cutscene there. Cutscene, get it? Anyway. Now we want to go to the carpenter's house, and we want to relieve him of a hammer and some nails. Now don't worry too much, because he's got to repair the ore. Now I probably should have done that first, but don't worry if you do this in my order, because it'll still work. Basically what we've got to do is we'll pick up the hammer and nails first. And then we're going to exit here and go back up to the ship with the pirates on it. This game has ways of being able to sort things out if you get them in the wrong order. So here we go. So we're going to go through here, and you'll notice now that the pirate has got his leg repaired. That's what the carpenter was doing. Obviously you never get to see that. So now we want to go back to the carpenter's house and go and see him and get him to repair the ore for us. It's all very clever. I mean, who came up with these puzzles? God, what a mind. Anyway, so head back into here, and then you want to give the ore to the woodsmith, and he will make a reinforced ore for you. Once he's fixed that, you want to go back to Captain Dread and set sail for Booty Island. So now we're going to come across to the right and back onto the map screen, and then we'll go and talk to Captain Dread and get ourselves back over to Booty Island. There's one thing I found with this game. I found myself humming the blooming theme tune for the last few days. That's how good this game is. It etches itself on your brain. Don't know why I suddenly turned that accent, but never mind. It's alright. Alright then, so we want to go to Booty Island. And once we get there, you want to be walking across to the right hand side here, and so the screen will scroll across, and you want to be going into Stan's Used Coffins. Previously owned coffins, there we go. So we want to go in here, and those of you who played Monkey Island 1, yeah. So here he is, it's Stan. Stan the man. So he's going to gas at you now in typical American fashion about, enthusiastically about pre-owned coffins. When you get a word in edgeways, tell him you're looking for a well-used coffin. What we're looking for in this room here is the key hanging on the crypt's stone behind the counter. But we can't do it because he will just stop us. So we need to find a way of stopping him. Right, so I'm looking for a good used coffin. Now, wait for him to waffle on, and he will go and show us one. So the humour just keeps rolling in this game. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now what you want to do here is you want to close the lid. Now he'll give you a handkerchief, which is no problem, we need that, so that's part of our inventory now. What you want him to do now is you need him to show you the coffin again. So talk to him once this is all finished, okay? And then you can... There, right. So you want to ask him to show it again. Now this time what you need to do is you need to close the lid and then you need to use the nails on the coffin. You see what we're doing here? You can try and use the nails on the coffin, but it doesn't work until you've closed it. So he's going to close the lid himself. There we go. Now we can use the nails. There we go. Now he can't get out, so you want to go and pick up the key from the crypt at the back there. And then once you've got that, you can exit the shop. We don't need to anything else from here. So once we get out, I want you guys to head out to the right hand side. Now this is where the green drink that we had came in handy. So make sure you got that to hand. Oh, and the ship's horn as well. Yeah, we need the ship's horn first. And you'll see why in a minute. So talk to the Spitmeister. God, flipping hell. Alright. It's up to you what nickname you want to give yourself. They're all amusing and they all work, so whichever you want. So I think I'm going to call myself Juicius Maximus the Third. Right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have to use all of these options, or you can use some of them. And when you're ready, then you can patui, which embarrassingly does that. Now, once he finishes talking, then you want to use the horn. Now I'll try and pick up the flags. You might, you might need to do this a couple of times. Depends where you're standing the first time you blow it. So try blowing it around there, and wait for them all to be distracted again. So off he goes. Now you can pick up the flags, and he'll automatically pick them all up, and that way, and he'll automatically put them back in as well. Okay. So what you want to do now is you want to use the crazy straw with the green drink. You might need to distract them again. Third place. So wait until this is finished, and then we can use the straw on the drink, which, as you might have guessed, will thicken our spit up quite substantially. Alright, so use the straw with the green drink. Okay, now talk to the spit master again. Now what you want to do here is the lady on the far right hand side, you need to wait for her red sash to sort of blow in the wind. As soon as you see that blow, like just literally did then, as soon as it does that, that's when you need to spit. So just hold fire. As soon as it blows. Now. There we go. You must wait for that wind to blow, otherwise it won't carry your spit far enough. So just make sure that you sit there and wait until that happens. It does look like she's got a bit of a bad case of wind, really, doesn't it? Anyway, there you go. So now you'll earn a spit trophy. Now we want to make our way back to the store that we first went into when we got onto this island. And you want to go and try and sell your plaque to the shopkeeper. He won't be interested at first, but make sure that you tell him that it's got the spit of the slayer of LeChuck on there, and he'll change his mind. So first of all, you're going to give it to him. So give the spit plaque to the antique dealer. So now you want to tell him why it's special by it's got the spit of the person who killed LeChuck on it. Okay. There you go, 6,000 pieces of 8. Now what can we do for 6,000 pieces of 8? We can charter a ship. First of all, before we do that though, we're going to look in the book of the great shipwrecks of our time, of our century, and you will want to probably note down the coordinates. 39 north by 88 west. You'll need that coordinate. Trust me, if you don't remember it, you'll be going all over the place. And it literally does have, so I'll bring that up again for you. 39 north by 88 west. It might differ. I don't know if that changes per game, but I don't think it does. I think that's the actual coordinates of the shipwreck that we need. So now what you need to go and do is talk to Kate again and charter a ship from her, because now we have enough money to be able to do so. I'm going to tell her you're interested in chartering a ship with her. And tell her that you're ready to go. Now, there you go, don't worry about saying it's too high, blah blah, just agree with it and get on with it and off you go. There we go, so you will eventually get onto a map screen. Right, and you need to put the coordinates in by hovering your mouse over. Here we go. So we want... Let me just get the way this works. A second. So let's go... No, that's the wrong way. So I need to come across the other way. Right, once you've got the coordinates locked in, then you click your mouse, and the next scene will be you standing on the boat with Kate, and that we are now at the location that we need to be. Okay, so dive in, and all this is automated now. And once you get to the bottom, you'll see the ship, and you'll be able to walk across and pick up the monkey figurehead. So off we go. It's gorgeous, this, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. All right, so Guybrush will make his way down automatically. There's a few screens of this, by the way. I'm still stunned the Amiga was able to do this, to be honest. It was absolutely brilliant. Did anyone actually play the remake, by the way? I had that on the, I think, PlayStation 3. I think I had the remake on. I released it for PS3. Yeah. I did have it on PC a while ago as well. I might have to dig it out and have a playthrough on PC as well. But the great thing about it was that you could actually play the classic versions as well. You could just switch between them at will. It was absolutely brilliant. Okay, so there's the wreck, which confirms that you've got your coordinates right. Because if not, there won't be a ship there, and you'll just have to come straight back up again, and it's a bit of a waste of time. So now you want to go and pick up the figurehead there. Where do I get one of those coats? Anyway, walk over to the left now, and then you want to pull on the rope of the anchor. Do that, and up we go. Right. Once you get back, you need to go see the guy in the store again, because we've got what he wanted. All right. Okay. Off we go. Back into the store. And we want to be giving that figurehead to the guy behind the counter. And he should live up to his end of the bargain and give us the first map piece that we need. There we are. So that's the first piece of the map done. So now we can leave there, and we now want to go over to the cliff. So we need to go back onto the path. Once you're here, what you need to do is you need to use the fishing pole that we got from the fisherman in our wager. So use the fishing rod. It doesn't need to be done anything else. You don't need to click on anything else. Just use the fishing rod. There's the map piece that we need. Never that simple though, is it? So now that seagull has now stolen our map piece again, and you can see where it's heading. It's going over to the big tree. So that is our next destination also. So we are heading now to the big tree once we get to the map screen. Okay. So once we're here, then we can head over to the big tree as well. And this is where we're going to use our newly reinforced ore. So, find the ore in your inventory first. You can see there's reinforced. So use it in the hole you did before. And then you want to use the walk to the ore, and Guybrush should automatically do that. Now pick up the plank, and then use the plank in the next hole along, and then move to it. And then you want to pick up the ore and put that in the hole next to it, and then hopefully Guybrush will remember what to do and do this for you automatically all the way up the there you go. So this is now automated, you don't have to worry about that. The next thing will happen will be at the top. Right, so start at the top. You can see in the top left-hand corner there's a telescope. We need to go and pick that up. So, once we get a sec, pick up the telescope. And I'll come back down to the door and you'll go through. Now then, you can see the seagull sitting on top of that big pile of papers. So what you want to do is you want to use the dog with the pile of paper. Because obviously the dog can sniff out the map piece. Oh, are we going to get the second map piece now? I think we just might. So there we go. Seagull has now flown away. And there he is. Second map piece is ours. Yeah. Right. Now we can leave here and we can head over to Fat Island once again. We are hopefully coming close to the end of chapter 2. You don't need to worry about Guybrush going to the ground. He'll do that on his own. Don't need to do all that again. Okay. Off we go. Don't need to pick up the oar again, by the way. You can leave that where it is. Alright. So, dread ship and then set sail for Fat Island. Okay, and off we go. Right. Oh, cutscene time. I'll be back after this one. Okay, nice little cutscene there with LeChuck and Largo. Right, so we need to leave town and go to the map screen yet again. So as always, exit stage left. Now we want to be going to the waterfall, which should be pinpointed on your map as well. Come on, Guybrush, you can walk faster than that. Alright, so once we're here, you need to be selecting the waterfall. That's where we're going next. Some of the locations in this game are just so nicely drawn. Alright, so right, we need to go to the top of the waterfall. Where's that going to be? Oh, I think... hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get Guybrush to the top. Where do I go? Where do I go? Should be getting to the top of the water. Maybe if I... walk to waterfall. Nope, that's not working. Sorry guys, been a while and all that. Let's see. No, nothing seems to be working here. I mean, we need to get to the top of the waterfall. Very picturesque. It is, Guybrush. Well done. Right, okay. Nothing obvious there. So let's see. Oh, now he's moving. Okay. Walk to... what's up here? Walk to path. Ah, brilliant. Now, you need to use the monkey on the pump. See, how obscure is that? Having to use a monkey on a pump. I mean, how would you even know? That looks dodgy, Guybrush. That looks really dodgy, Guybrush. Stop it. Right. So here we go. Now we can go back down to the waterfall, and you'll notice that there is now a brand new gap formed. We need to go through there. And then walk through all the halls that you encounter, because it's like an underground tunnel. So essentially what we're all going to do here is just walk through here and walk through until we get to the other side. I think there's a couple of screens of this, so just keep going. Nothing will pop up or interfere with this. Once you get through to the other side, which I think is probably through this door, now you want to walk up to that little cottage that you can see at the top. Alright, so you need to open this door and head on in. Right, so now you're going to come up against this guy. So again, it doesn't really matter what you talk to him about. I'm being honest here with the map. Doesn't matter what you say to him, to be quite honest with you. All of this conversation needs to result in you having a grog drinking contest with him. And he will challenge you. You don't need to challenge him. So just keep him, he'll witter on a little bit about stuff. Just keep on talking to him until he gets irritated. But he will eventually challenge you to a drinking contest. And that's what we want him to do. Now you're only left with these really. You can pretty please him all you like. You want to cut all this a little bit shorter, you can actually just say this, because it's the only option left anyway. And then he'll sort of, yeah, he'll laugh at your pathetic sword fighting challenge, and he'll challenge you to a grog drinking contest. Now you want to make sure that you've got the near grog ready, by the way. Okay. So he'll come back with a cup. Can't open the trapdoor yet. So there's our drink. What we need to do while he's away is we need to I think you can use the mug. We pick it up. Right, now use that. And there's a plant somewhere. Where is it? Am I being completely blind? Ah, there. Now, yeah, use the grog with the tree. And what you want to do then is use your near grog with the mug. Okay? And then basically just wait for the other guy to come back. There we are. This is all sort of automated now. So sit down and then wait for him to come. Now he'll drink and basically pass out, which is exactly what you want him to do. Right. Now, you need to use the mirror that you've got in your inventory in the picture frame behind you. Or behind Guybrush, I should say. There we go. Mirror in there. Now we can leave. Now you want to open one of these windows. I can't remember which one it is. Is it? Okay, it's not that one. This one. Open this window here, and then use the telescope with the statue. There we go, and that Guybrush will put the telescope in there, and a beam of light will shoot through. Now, You'll see where that goes. Right, now head back inside the hut, or inside the cottage, or whatever you want to say, and head over to the brick that you just saw the light bounce off. So we want to walk all the way over and push the brick. You can see it there, it's got a black mark on it. And then Guybrush will fall through the trapdoor. And in the bath there, you want to pick up the piece of map, and now you have 3 map pieces. And now we can head back through the tunnels. And you want to go back to Dreadship and set sail for Scab Island. I love the way it uses locations from the previous chapters as well. I think that's really, really cool. Because we're going to be heading to the cemetery in a minute. You remember that one where we dug up Largo's grandfather's bones? Well, that's where we're going next. So make sure that you head to that path, not the one at the top. Otherwise you'll just go back to the water pump. You don't need that. So off we go. Back to the path and back to Dreadship. Set sail for Scab Island. Oh, I tell you, this has been such fun to play through. I have to thank you guys very, very much for your support on this, because I could have just uploaded these without talking over the top, but I'm glad you guys have wanted me to do this. So thank you ever so much. I do appreciate the support you guys give me. Oh, we've got another cutscene. Let's enjoy this one. There we go. So we should now be heading back here. Okay, so once we're here, we need to be heading back to the cemetery. And we need to, once you get here, as you'll probably familiarise yourself with this. First of all, we're going to use the newly acquired crypt key in the crypt. Stands to reason, really, doesn't it? So in we go. Okay. Now, what you need to do here is to find the Book of Pirate Quotations. And look at that. Now, it's going to go through a few quotations. We need the one by Rapscallion. There we go. Kiss me, I've got scurvy. That's the one we need. We will run through a few of these, by the way. So now we need to look at the coffins, and there should be a quotation from each of those on top of the coffins. So we'll go and have a look at all these. Happiness is a warm manatee. There you go. So that's Rapscallion's coffin right there. Just to confirm that all of those quotes actually do go with each one of these coffins. So we need to open up the Rapscallion coffin there. And then you need to pick up the ashes from the coffin, which is always delightful. Now, we can leave here for now. Now we're going to go and visit our old friend, the voodoo lady in the swamp. So make sure you head back to the path, and we can get to the swamp. Alright. Alright, so head over to the swamp, get inside the coffin boat, and head over to the shack. Alright, use the coffin as we did in chapter 1. If you don't use it, he'll just stand there like a plum and stare at it. So off we go! Now what you're looking for when you get inside is a jar that says Ash to Life on it. Now there's quite a lot of jars there. But you can look at them, all of them as well. So you can look at the jars, and it'll tell you what they are. Fruit cocktail in heavy syrup. Nice. So I don't need to look at the books. Oh, Ash to Life, there it is. Right, so we need to pick that up. There we go. So now we'll get called in here, and she will hopefully give us a proper Ash to Life. Because we're going to need that. And folks, I got to tell you, chapter 2, I'm hoping it's nearly finished. So we need to give, should automatically do this anyway, but if not, then you need to give her the ashes of Rapscallion. Now you can give her the book of the Joy of Hex. I believe it's automated. So let's have a look. There we go. Guybrush already has the recipe book. Oh, she just so happens to have an experimental batch there. Right, so now we've got that, we can head back to the cemetery. There's a little bit of backwards and forwardsing next, if I remember rightly. So remember to use the coffin again. There we go, and off we go. And back to the map screen again, please. And we'll head over to the cemetery. Where we will get to use that Ash to Life on the ashes of Rapscallion. Alright, so back to the cemetery and straight into the crypt. We don't need to muck about with that. We've already got the key open, the door's open. Nothing else we need to do apart from just go in and open the coffin again. Alright, so you can see the door is open already. So we'll just walk straight to the crypt. And inside we go. Right, so walk to the coffin and use the Ash to Life on the coffin. So a nice little cutscene now with Rap getting reanimated. There we go. So now Rapscallion is back, so to speak. Now you need to talk to him about, basically, you need to do him a favour. So tell him that he was killed. which one of these options you go for, it's the result is the same. So have fun with the options yourself. Basically, you're going to need to go and turn the gas off in his restaurant. So tell him you'll do it for him, and he'll give you the key. So we've got the key to his place. Now we need to exit again. So just click away from the screen, and he'll load back into the crypt. Head back up the stairs and back to the map screen. We're going to head to the beach now. And that is our next location. Alright, so head to the beach. And if you remember when we were talking to the pirates back in episode 1, there was a lighthouse or a building on the beach. That's what we're heading to now. Alright, so walk over to the right and we should actually get to see, there it is. That's Rap's place right there. So walk to the door and then we're going to use the key on the door and head on inside. Oh, oops, wrong key. That key. Right, so use key in the door and then we can go inside. Right, so there's not much to do in here except for push or pull the buttons. I think if we pull the knob, that should turn the gas off. Done. Out of here. Back to the crypt once again. And use the ash to life on the coffin. Alright, so back to the path. Back to the cemetery, and again, just go straight into the tomb. You don't need to worry about anything else, just head back into the crypt. Use the ash to life on the coffin like we did the first time round. We'll get to speak to Rap again. In we go. So we're going to bring Rap back to life again. For some reason he's turned back to ash again. I can't quite understand why that happened. But never mind. So here he comes. Back once again with the ill behaviour. Back once again with the Renegade Master. Right, so here he is. Good old Rap. So you'll talk to him automatically. You don't need to talk to him as such. Oh, he has a map piece, by the way. So we need to... We've checked the gas for him, so basically you just tell him that. So tell him he was right and the gas was on, and he should part with the map piece. And there we've got all 4 map pieces at that point. And now Rap can rest in peace finally. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to move away from the cemetery and we're going to go back to Woodtick and we're going to go and see Wally. Do you remember Wally? He was in part 1. We stole his monocle. Do you remember that? Yes. Shades of morality in this game. Right, so we'll go back to see Wally and yeah, we'll be nice to him, I think. Right, so once you're out, head to the path. And we are almost at the end of chapter 2. We've got all 4 map pieces. We've got to get Wally to put them back together again, which basically is what his job is as a cartographer. So yes, it all ties in quite nicely. It's amazing what you remember when you start playing a game again, isn't it? So, yeah, we're going to walk across and we are going to go into the second boat along, which is Wally's. We're going to go in here. Right. So, for him to put the map back together again, we need to give him his eyesight back. And we're going to do that in by giving him the lens from the lighthouse that we picked up earlier on. There we are. And now we need to give him the map pieces. Nope. No, on top of my inventory again. Oh, I think they were all at the bottom, aren't they? Okay, so there's our map pieces. So give him a map piece. It doesn't matter which one. You'll automatically give him the rest anyway. Just make sure you've got them all before you go to him. There you go. So it's all in the hands of Wally now. But before he does it, he wants us to go and get a potion. Right, so we've got to go and see the voodoo lady again, so that she can give us a love potion number 9. Okay. Off we go again. So there's a little bit of backwards and forwards in here, but it's not. There's a reason for it. I'm sure we will find out what that reason is in just a moment. Right, so once we're back to the map screen, head back to the swamp. We're going back to the voodoo lady for hopefully the last time. So row back over to the shack, and then we're going to go see the voodoo lady and ask for that love potion for our little friend Wally. I really didn't expect this walkthrough to be nearly 2 hours long, by the way. It's the longest part of Monkey Island 2, if I remember rightly. I think parts 3 and 4 are actually quite short. I think they're shorter than part 1 as well, so if you're still here after nearly almost 2 hours later, oh God, you guys have got some stamina. Uh-oh. Sudden disturbance in the force, as if tiny voice just called out in fear. Yes. Really nice reference there for Star Wars fans. Like that a lot. Right, so basically what we're going to do now, we're going to go and check on Wally. Which again means we have to go manually there to do it. So we're going to use the coffin again and row to the shore, and off we go. We're going to head back to Woodtick and see what's happened to our friend Wally. Music's great. There's been a much better usage of music. You can ignore that crate for a minute. I don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, so back to Woodtick we go. And then we need to quickly go over to Wally's place and see what's going on with him. And in we go. Figure out what's happened to Wally. Oh, he's gone. Okay, so... Okay. Okay, guys, this is it. The final part of this episode is to head back to the swamp. And then we're going to climb inside that crate, and that should be the end of part 2. So I will use this opportunity now to thank you guys for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this episode. I hope you found it useful. Please leave me some comments and feedback in the comments section below. Always like reading your comments, and any suggestions you've got for the future of the channel as well. If there's any walkthroughs you'd like me to do, please let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll see what I can do about that. Part 3 and Part 4 should be coming soon, but I'm probably going to do a couple of game reviews in the meantime, just so we're not constantly on Monkey Island. But I will be finishing the game hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I'll get another part up next week, so thanks very much for tuning in. I will see you guys again real soon. Remember to keep it retro, and bye for now.